I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. Got another antique shop find. I don't normally buy drill sharpeners. Well, I bought two before this, but it's not a thing that I normally go looking for until I had such great success with a Black & Decker. And I kept hearing people say, well, the Drill Doctor is so much better than a Black & Decker. Guess what I found on a shelf? $14. Couldn't turn it down. Didn't come with instructions, so I went online and looked it up. It's pretty self-explanatory. With a drill bit in the collet, you slide the collet inside that pocket. Now, like the directions show, you open up the jaws. Pushing that button opens up the jaws, and then you shove the drill bit in. And then you turn it until those two little jaws come up and contact it. And then you tighten the collet. When you pull it out, the drill bit is set to be properly drilled. Now I'm going to take this old nasty looking 5/16 drill. I'm not going to clean it up. I'm not going to try anything with it other than just to drill a hole through this piece of steel plate. The only problem with a battery operated drill, every time I go to use it, the battery's dead. Now this is one of the old batteries. The newer batteries hold charge a little bit longer. These guys, they cook off just sitting in the drawer. No pilot, no nothing. Well, it's drilling, but it's wobbling. That is one ugly looking hole. I was amazed it drilled as well as it did, but you see that step in the side? That's from the drill bit orbiting. The end of the drill bit is off center. We put it up against the drill bit gauge. For one thing, the angle is really bad. And the other, this side is reading 6, and this side is reading 4. That means this is about a third wider on one side than it is on the other. So this side was hitting first and doing all the cutting, which you can see by the wear on it. And this side was just along for the ride. And because this side was so much longer than this side cut in by just drilling through on that point, which made a small drill. Then this side came along afterwards and scoured out the big side, because this one actually started cutting before this one did. So we ended up with this orbited hole. Now if you were poking a hole for a piece of wire, you wouldn't care. Probably would work just fine. Measuring the shank on this, it's 3/12. That's just what it's supposed to be, 5/16. Measure the size of this hole. .359. So it's about 48 or 49 thousandths too big. Doesn't much matter unless you're trying to tap a hole. If you were trying to tap a hole, you wouldn't have enough room in there for the threads to catch anything. The hole would be too big. So let's try the drill doctor and see what it does with this funky old drill bit. Now, I've only used this once. But we'll go through the process and see if I can make it work. Now, following the directions, I'm supposed to take the drill bit and slip it into the collet. Snug that down just a little bit. Now there's two flats, one on the top and one on the bottom. There's two flats in this bore. I need to line this up with those two flats. Then I'm supposed to push on this button, slide this in until it sets against those two flats. That sets the drill bit in the proper orientation. Then I'm supposed to spin the drill bit until those two little jaws come in together and touch it just like that. That lines up the drill bit with the cam. Once I have that done and the drill bit's all the way into position, I tighten up the collet. Make sure I got it set right. This has got to be all the way up against that wall, and that's got to be all the way against the stop. Now I push the button, pull the collet out, and the drill bit is set to run through the machine. Now this is the start-stop button. I'm going to put the collet in here, and there's a white line there and a white line there. I put one of those white lines up against this stop, and I don't need to drag it against that really hard, but I do need to have the cam follow that stop. See how it goes around and wobbles? That sets the drill bit so it runs against the stone the proper direction. Okay, let's give it a shot. Got a little diamond stone down inside there whirling away. That didn't take long at all, and that point is nice and shiny. Well, let's pull it out of the collet and see what it does. First off, I'm going to check it against the drill gauge. 6. Five. And 6. Oh, we're a little better. That's 5.5 and 6. Not perfect. Now let's try a hole. Still got a little wobble. I don't think I took it far enough. 5 and 5. We should get a better shot at making a hole this time. That was straight through. No wobble, no wander. $3.12 on the money. First hole, $3.25. This hole, $3.12, right on the nose. Well, I'm impressed. This little cam and collet arrangement, just that quick, you're loaded up, ready to cut. Just that quick, nice and sharp. Now the first time I sharpened a drill bit with this, I tended to kind of creep along, but you want to spin that at a pretty good rate of speed. And you want to start with your hand ready to make a full turn when you got it on the white line, and then spin it on through. And then spin it on through. First time I did it, I had a lot of facets on the drill bit because I kept stopping. If you run it right on through, it makes a nice smooth cut. So I'm very pleased with my $14 acquisition. Happy that it works. And I've got a bunch of drill bits that need sharpening. I thought I probably would get out the Black & Decker for the small ones because my eyesight's failing a little bit. I'm getting older. This makes it a lot easier. Anything under a 1/2 inch. And the Black & Decker only does up to 3/8. This one goes up to 1/2 inch. So I'm impressed with the Darex Drill Doctor. And this is model number 250, 18,000 RPM, 110 volt, AC only, 50 to 60 hertz. That means it can run in Canada or the United States. You just have to have an adapter in Canada to bring it down to 110. Darex Professional Tool Corporation, Ashland, Ohio. Made in USA. Good job, Darex. If you have any suggestions for a new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching.